especially during like your super heavy like strength phases, you kind of go hard on your SBD work, and then you don't really give a shit about the accessory work. So
yeah, sometimes it can be a programming issue, as in like during when I'm teaching mentorships and stuff like that. One of the common things I see when I'm reviewing people's programming and stuff like that is that they are programming a lot of work, like because maybe they're not biasing phases enough, and they're putting like a lot of like very very hard like SBD work in there and trying to drive progression that way. And then they're also putting like a lot of accessory like bodybuilding, hypertrophy type work in there as well to drive things that way. And it ends up being a little bit much overall, and the person not getting a whole lot out of either of them.
like, are you trying to drive skill or are you trying to drive hypertrophy?
Yeah, you kind of, you're never not doing one of them, but you can definitely bias in a certain direction. And if you understand who you're working with and what exactly you want to achieve out of it. So sometimes with those people, they will come to me and they go like, "Hey, I've written this program. I thought it would work really well, but like, it's just not working." And then I have to question a bit deeper because we usually find that the client maybe hasn't told their coach that they are sandbagging their accessories, or they're just skipping sets completely. But through a little bit of investigation, we find out that is the case, through a bit of honest questioning from that coach to their client. And then we try and figure out why. And you can't just blame the client and go like, what, they're just being lazy, sometimes they are, but like most of the time, like I like to look internally and go like, what in this program, like, don't I necessarily need? Like, what can I get rid of? Is this too much work overall? Like what factors, like what reason, why are they skipping this stuff? Because like, I know if I do like, 4x6 squats at relatively decently close to failure and stuff like that, like, and I go and try and hit like some really heavy leg press after it and stuff, like it can be really tough. It can be really tough. So sometimes you are just stuffed, and sometimes that exercise, really heavy leg press might not be the appropriate exercise. Maybe I'm going to give them something that doesn't require as much load, or with a different intent, or is more isolated, a little bit more. I don't know, whatever it is, whatever factor it is that's making them kind of hold back and sandbag their accessories, it's not always their fault, I think, is the biggest takeaway from this. It's like, look at the programming and say, what can I do better with this? What can I do to this program to make this person actually get through it to the best of their abilities?
And then for the person that is maybe just that lazy client, because like they do exist. There's people, and I'm guilty of it myself. Like,
We
where
all
I'm just
are.
like, look at it and I'm just like, fuck this. Like, I just can't be bothered doing it. I can't be asked.
Yeah.
Like, for me, the mindset that I'm having to switch into is like, I'd rather do what I can and put in like some form of effort with that and see some form of progress over time
Yeah.
than like completely just scrap it and then regret it when I know I really like needed it. Like, if I look back and go like, fuck man, if I'd not like, oh, if I'd just done that one extra set or that one extra exercise, but like if that's every single week you're skipping exercises and skipping sets and things like that, like,
Well, then, yeah, your coach hasn't done their job. But I'm saying, like, if that's the case, you need to be honest. You need to give honest feedback and go like, hey, I'm not getting through this stuff. By the time I finish my squats, I am ruined. I am flat. And they go like, why? Is there, maybe it's a recovery factor. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's a sleep problem, or a nutrition problem, or a completely, something other outside of training. But like, it needs to be identified and worked upon, because clearly what's currently happening isn't working. And yeah, so like being honest and actually this goes back to the coaching relationship thing. There needs to be an honest channel between coach and client here, because if somebody feels compelled to lie, or if they feel shame about not completing a workout, or if they are scared to tell their coach that they couldn't complete it for whatever reason, that is not a good sign that things are headed in a positive direction, and nobody's going to benefit from that relationship.